Hello and welcome to Dedicated Dentist 32 Reasons Why. So today in this video we'll discuss psychoanalytical theory and this psychic triad. So I'll give you this pictorial representation so it will be easier for you to memorize and retain these things for longer. So Sigmund Freud gave this psychoanalytical theory. Basically his idea behind this theory was that any changes or any happenings in the childhood, they influence the personality of a child, okay, and later if they are repressed in childhood, they later express in the adulthood. So basically any childhood event affects the personality of an individual. So he gave this psychosexual stages that we'll discuss in the next video, all the 5 stages, but in this video we'll discuss this psychic triad, okay, which is very important. Id, ego and superego. We'll see how they control human mind, or how basically the structure of human mind or personality is. So let's get into the video. So he explained human mind with the help of 2 models, that is a topographic model, and he gave a psychic triad. So basically this topographic, as per this topographic model, he said the human minds are like iceberg, okay, only 10% of it is visible, that is our consciousness. When a person is conscious, that is the current thinking process, what he is thinking at present is the conscious state, that is only visible, which is 10%, okay. So there are thoughts and all in that perception. Then there's this stage that is semi-conscious or preconscious that we call. So it has memory and judgment, okay. So we don't remember the past things, okay, but we bring this memory and knowledge, we bring the semi-conscious thoughts in our mind when we focus, right? Then there's this unconscious state, okay, unconscious or subconscious, okay. So it's like he said that this is like a dump box of urges, feelings, emotions that influence our personality or our actions and thinking, okay. So basically this semi-conscious and unconscious stage, the semi and unconscious stage, it is said that this is 90. Why iceberg is because we only see this peak of an iceberg, right, and we don't see the beneath it. 90% is beneath. So basically our 90% of our mind or thoughts, these are beneath, we cannot see it, no one can see it, okay. And only consciousness, that is our current thinking process, that is visible as said by this topographic model. Hence he related this 3 concepts with the help of an iceberg model. Then we have this psychic triad or model that has id, ego and superego. Now most of the students, they find this concept hard, they don't understand the psychic triad. So I have drawn this given this pictorial representation. We have seen in cartoons and all, they say on the right shoulder we have an angel and on the left shoulder we have a devil. So they constantly the devil persuades us to do the wrong things or bad things, whereas the angel, it convinces us to do good things and not follow the devil. So here we have id as a devil, okay. So here you can say that this devil is saying that bad things give us pleasure, and then this is the good guy or the angel, that is super ego. He's saying that we should censor your thoughts. And he's talking about ethics and morals, all good things, He's talking about the fear of society, culture and parents questioning the devil's morale and conscience, whereas devil doesn't give a damn about it. And he's talking about the fantasies. What about fantasies? Well, then ego is, this is a sensible guy, and that is us. Well, he's talking about the reality. Well, we live in reality, okay. So it is basically the bad guy or the devil, and it is the instinct, reservoir of instinct, and id is present since birth, okay. So this works on pleasure principle, that is the devil doesn't care, it doesn't care, it wants to derive the pleasure, and it doesn't care about anything else, concise and all. Whereas ego, this guy, it is a mediator between id and superego. Now he is in a spot, he don't know who to listen to, whether id or super ego. So it develops in 2nd to 6th month, whereas this id, it develops since it is present since birth. Then this superego, like I said, the angel here, so it's always talking about the sensors. He censors bad thoughts, bad feelings, bad urges. Okay, so this angel censors all these things. Then he cares about the ethics and morals. He's worried of his conscience, what he will answer to God for his actions. Then he fears society, culture, and parents. So basically, this is superego is all about regulations imposed and prohibitions. So let's get into this. So it is a reservoir of instincts. It's present since birth and it works on pleasure principles. Whereas ego, it is a mediation between id and superego. Okay, so it develops in the 2nd to 6th month, and this id strives for immediate pleasure, whereas this works on reality principle and it is concerned with memory, judgment. The ego analyzes the consequences of the act for his actions. If he'll part with id, the consequences of say if he is doing actions as per id or as per superego, then he will analyze the situation, perceive the things. Okay, and this is concerned with memory and judgment. So he'll make a judgment and decide and come to a conclusion. Okay, so it controls id on a reality level. This ego, that is us, we work on reality. We think about a reality. Okay, we cannot do what as per our urges or needs. We cannot always go with the needs. Okay, we have to think about reality, acceptable behavior always. Yeah, so this, it expands with age, delays and modifies. Yeah, as the age advances, this is basically a maturation. Okay, so then this super ego, like I said, I'll give you an example once again to so that you can understand this well. So basically, super ego is the prohibitions learned from environment. Then it acts as a sensor, like I said, a sensor for thoughts and behaviors and feelings. So it produces feeling of shame and guilt. Now this super ego has feelings for shame and guilt, and the regulations imposed on child by the parents, society and culture. Okay, so it has these bad thoughts that is unconscious, like I said, beneath, not visible. So they are fears, unacceptable sexual desires, selfish needs, violent motives, shameful experiences. Whereas ego deals with memories and knowledge, and the super ego, it deals with thoughts and perception. Now I'll give you an example of id, that is violent motive, a child. Okay, I'll give you an example of id, that is the violent motives, and a child, that is ego, and superego, that is regulations and prohibitions. So there's this child who wants to put up a fight with his frenemy in school, but he has this violent motives. Okay, he has grudges, he wants to take revenge. Okay, and he really wants to fight with that guy, his frenemy. However, he then analyzes the situation and thinks about it, and then he realizes that he's in the school premises. He realizes that he's in the school premises and he might get restricted for his actions, so he doesn't put up the fight and eventually moves on, because he's scared of the prohibitions or regulations imposed on him by the school authority. Okay, so that is why the authority that he's scared of is the superego. The child then realizes to not fight and eventually moves on. So that is ego, his decision. And then the violent motives that he had, that is the id. So guys, that was it about id, ego and superego. So in the next video, we'll discuss the 5 sexual stages, psychosexual stages of the Sigmund Freud. And yeah, if you like the video, like, share and subscribe, and thank you.